Yeah, I be the central. My shit get critical. My shit for rizzle. My competition got me feeling invincible. Ready for the workout and the whistle. You can't stop the flame nizzle. Same, you can't stop the shame in you. Borderlines get broke down when we been through. You don't know what I've been through, been to that venue. Shook hands with videos that could have been you. But I've been in. Baby, 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 baby. But I've been me. Baby, 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 baby. Baby, my new name, manifesting my new flame. I beat your ass first, then the rest of my crew came. Not anything last first, I invented this new game. Understand my mind, know what the brain. I wrote the book of change. No fear, man, just different faces. It's the matrix, your mind making. Can use it or waste it. But I've been me. Baby, 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 baby. Yeah, baby, 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 baby. Baby, 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 baby. But I've been me. Baby, 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 baby. Baby, 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 baby. Baby, 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 baby. Time out, it's Gilcito, the spirit coach, getting your ass in shape and form for the age of Aquarius. Endless abilities. What's going on, my man? God damn it, that's right. We got endless abilities in this bitch. We got endless abilities in this bitch. You feel me? So that's what you need to know and things, you know what I'm saying? Because God like to work through people that's open to all possibilities and things of that nature. So if you ain't open to all possibilities, you know, you might be with the devil, you know? So all possibilities, you know what I'm saying? It's allowing yourself to know something about your goddamn spirit. And what you knowing about your goddamn spirit is that your spirit ain't nothing, is no thing. Okay? So, you know what I'm saying? The spirit is no shape, no form. You know what I'm saying? So, within that context of things, you know what I'm saying? The spirit likes to create awarenesses and create, you know, shapes and forms, you know what I'm saying? And things to represent itself, you know? So, you know, it likes to create real pretty, you know, lines and sigils and things of that nature. And some of these things become y'all hell because y'all get lost into those things. You feel me? So, you know, we want to make sure that we in a good aspect of things when we building within this new age and this new aspect. So, you know, that's why I have to be Cito the spirit coach to kind of get you prepared for the Aquarius age. Okay. For the vast aquatic. And this is the Zeus cast. So that's what you need to know. Okay, and we talk about today how you think is your responsibility. Now, as simple as that may sound and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? You got a job to do. You got a job to do with your thoughts. You got a job to do with your thoughts right now, especially based upon Mercury being in Aries and things of that nature. So you got to be the leader of your thoughts right now. You know what I'm saying? You got to give your thoughts some direction. You got to give your thoughts some juice. You got to give your thoughts some power. You got to fight, you know what I'm saying, the goddamn powers that be. You know what I'm saying? You got to fight to be seen. And you're going to have you're going to have some logic to do that. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have some ways to think that through. You're going to have some information that you're considering as your passion to considerably fight for. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or leave that information at home and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Or this information could be you fighting for the wrong things. You know what I'm saying? With Mercury and Aries at the moment, you know? So this is that space that we all in. And so this is what you're responsible for right now. as your will, as your power, you know what I'm saying, and as your duty, to be sufficiently able to create cardinal fire and through conversation, aka new ways to see and feel. Now, that fire, in a sense, is going to burn through reality and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a torch. You know what I'm saying? It's like a torch. So you know what I'm saying. You want to have that torch, your torch, when things get too a little bit reality based. Now you know what I'm saying. That's how you do shit and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying. You start doing things with the mind first. You start manipulating with the mind first. When you start manipulating with the mind first and shit like that, that's when you will start manifesting situations where you know what I'm saying. You're actually doing things that are incredible. You know what I'm saying and shit like that. Because I ain't even gonna lie. Like yesterday was a trip and shit like that because I got into some whole other shit. But I already know what I did and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, you know, shit, motherfuckers is on some telekinesis shit. You know what I'm saying? Like moving shit with my vibe and shit like that because it wasn't nothing physical I was moving it with and shit. But so it made me think like a lot of these things that they portrayed in the movies about these characters and shit like that. This shit that we didn't already did and like already got bored with and shit like that. And it was just like they got so like pressed about not being able to do that themselves. They ain't had no choice but to like build insecurities and like make people that like that seem like some type of real like some witchcraft shit. You know what I'm saying? Like some weird shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we was really doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because we wasn't really lost in the aspect of the mind and shit like that. Like they lost in and shit like that. So we was more open to all possibility. So we wasn't even looking at doing shit like telekinesis as something like it was something like we like needed to learn how to do or like needed to, you know what I'm saying? It was like that. You know what I'm saying? That shit had to happen in the aspect of when it actually needed to happen. So, you know, um, so this kind of like lets us know like the world is vast, like far as like the actual energies that ain't being used and energies that you can participate in the space that you might have, you know what I'm saying, as a spirit, it made me think like, you know what I'm saying, that the world we still that mind that Lucifer God that they be worshiping, like it got a small realm of reality. Like it's small, like because you know how people be within a world with their minds based upon like an indoctrination, but that indoctrination is small too, based upon niggas coming here and defying the shit that they made so hard and shit like that made seem like secrets and shit like that. So, um, but yeah, I ain't even gonna cap, nigga. I had a little break. I'll show you. Look, man, I'll be vulnerable right now. I had a little bracelet, right? And motherfuckers was flipping that bitch like with my motherfucking finger and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But I was in the spirit realm. You know what I'm saying? Like I was completely tapped in and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I was in fourth, fifth, 6D and shit like that. I'm saying beyond that, damn near 7, 8. But it's just rituals and spells and things, and you can really do that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think I heard people talk about that shit before, but you know, yeah, when you don't have it on your mind, like that's what you're trying to do, it's like you just tap in. Like it's just like you just tap in. It's like that's not what I'm like. It's a different, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta have purpose behind it and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But purpose behind your life. You know what I'm saying? Like God only worked through people that got like real purpose and shit like that. And so whatever that purpose was for, that was for, you know what I'm saying, me and whatever I had to observe what that purpose was for and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And I had a witness. But this lets you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you responsible for how you think. You know what I'm saying? Because if we in a realm of all possibilities and we say we are with God in some way, shape, or form, you know what I'm saying? This lets you know that um, you're responsible for how you think, and the more that you're the responsible one, the more you can learn, the more you got experience, you know what I'm saying? You can teach, the more you can make sense, you can do correspondence, you can let another spirit know direction and shit like that. You can be a better leader, you know what I'm saying? The more you can develop thoughts, feelings that help people with their thoughts, feelings, you know what I'm saying? The more you can help yourself, you know what I'm saying? You can really nurture yourself. That's what we're going through right now with the moon square sun and Aries, you know what I'm saying? The more you can nurture yourself, the more you can nurture, that spiritual self, the soul of you, you know what I'm saying? Real shit. The more you can nurture that side, you know what I'm saying? You can care for it. You gotta care for it though. You gotta let it experience too. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let it go through what it's gonna go through too. You know what I'm saying? You ain't that. You know what I'm saying? It's just how you experience it and shit like that. You ain't none of these. You ain't none of these chakras, none of these, sun through Saturn. You came here to experience each one of them. So, the better you tune in, you know what I'm saying, with your purpose and your mission, the more you can find, you know what I'm saying, what's in it for you and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just we just working, we just playing these little energies out through this vessel and shit like that. But I already then went beyond this vessel and shit like that. So it's proof in the pudding. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't already proved, like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even got to necessarily do too much no more and things. But we're trying to get everybody. Oh, Cody, what's good? That's my nigga. Shout out to Cody, bro. I did that shit last night, bro. I fucking did the telekinesis shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit was. I'm so glad you in here, fam. Like I really did. Like I wasn't even trying to do that shit. Like I wasn't even trying, bro. I promise you, bro. I was sitting down with Jess and like motherfucker had this bracelet on right here. Then I took it off, right? My hand my hand started feeling weird. It started like it felt like I had like something over my hand, like knitted over my hand and shit like that. It was like it was like fucking web, but it was soft. So I was like, what the fuck? Is something on my hand or some shit like that? So I start moving my shit, right? This bitch get the like I'm like, all right. I'm like, Jay. I'm like, Jess, check this out. Bro, she look. I get the woo 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 flipping that bitch. Woo 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 woo. I get the flipping that bitch, bro. And she like she like what the she like looking weird and she like couldn't even look at it. Like she went back on her phone, but she saw me doing it and shit like that. But she ain't say nothing because it was kind of weirding her out a little bit and shit like that. But for the most part, yeah. Like so what I recollect, you know what I'm saying, me as an individual spirit, because Cody know me personally. Like we was into that shit like when we were shorties and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? We was doing that shit a long time ago and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So for that to just come back up though, just interesting. You know what I'm saying? It was like, but I know why I come back up. But it's so deep. It's so deep on a spiritual level through like the shit that I've been going through and the space where we in is like way it's way too deep. It's for me and God. And so anything like some things don't really gotta be like, you know what I'm saying? Because some things ain't really necessarily meant to be like taken out of proportion. Like we all do telekinesis, really. Like, you know what I'm saying? Anytime you doing moving your mind, using your mind to move you know what I'm saying? That's a form of telekinesis. Like, what do you think is controlling something? Bitch, your mind and your power. You know what I'm saying? Your mind controlling your body. So for you to create a form to do that on a like a, you know what I'm saying, a more smaller level where it's focused, you know what I'm saying? You know, that is just, you know what I'm saying, just to put us in a perspective of the right thing and kind of destroy reality and shit like that. Because we not, for the most part, it's not necessarily like we destroying reality. We always been in reality. We always real. Now, as far as our perception of reality is what we get indoctrinated by. Esoterically, us walking into the esoteric slave boat, esoteric magic school bus, you know what I'm saying, that NASA create, you know what I'm saying, that the NBC create, you know what I'm saying, that motherfucking all the Masons create, you know, all of that, you know, teaching us how to see the world through the lens of somebody that's inferior or that's a mutt, and not really a pure version of, you know, God and God's children. So, you know, bro, yeah, he said, I wonder if I can do it. Yeah, man. So it's really yeah, I I can't even like I can't the only way I can take that and that me performing that act is I got to take it like it was something in a dream. So it's like, you know, it was real. Like, obviously, it was real. I got proof. Like, I got testimony. Like, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, because of I see everything in symbol form and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta look at that like it ain't shit either. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta look at that like it ain't shit either. Altering reality from knowing you already like it's right. It's just like kind of moving. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of moving. Your spaceship around and shit like that. You can do some amazing things, bro. This is like how we manifest. Like, this is what spiritual power is. Like, this is what it is. Like, just being in a space of it and shit like that. Being in the space of it. See, we all create temperatures, temperament, you know what I'm saying, with our mind and shit like that. So you can have things on your mind, you know what I'm saying, when you're doing certain tasks. You know what I'm saying? If your room is messy, you know what I'm saying? Have something that's representative of organization, maybe a box or something in mind when you're doing your room and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to be a little, see it and get it a little bit more practical, you know what I'm saying? Get it a little bit more squared out. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about what we have on our mind too, because this is how we manifest the world. This is how we manifest the elements into the world and shit like that, using our fire. You know what I'm saying? Our ability to burn through reality. You know what I'm saying? So that would be like a torch and things. And we create that on an internal level. We create fire on an internal level. Anytime we get passionate, anytime we start to see something or be able to, you know, do things beyond what we can conceive that's practical and shit like that, we have visions all the time. We have those fires all the time. Now, depending on what we do with that fire, and things of that nature. We don't really just take it for the energy all the time and be like, okay, this is a fire that looked like it could be seen and burn through my hell and get me out of my hell. So I'm gonna hold this fire and shit like that, and I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna see this through. I'm gonna create a sigil. I'm gonna create a sign out of that shit or something like that. You know what I'm saying? We don't get into that, you know, or even the water when we into, you know what I'm saying, that, you know what I'm saying, just having the ability to be fluid, having the ability to be a little bit more connected and things of that nature, emotional intelligence, knowing, you know what I'm saying, how to move in that spirit realm, you know what I'm saying, knowing how to, you know, be vibrate, or, you know what I'm saying, practice, you know, principle and distance and closeness and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And spiritually moving and shit like that. Which shout out to Dolo, he talked about that a lot. Made me not want to work because I didn't care about money. Made me so bad. I mean, you have damn near to be rich to live this way. But they took me to a place where I cannot be no more spirits people in this reality. Shit, man. Yeah, we in a space where we got to create this shit. We got to create this shit. Like they don't even know what to do, really. Like at this point, they don't even know what to do. Like they just been really banking on, you know, people caring about like the shit that they got going on, as far as like having money or something like that, like having like resources and shit like that. But like the space that we like in now is that like we like doing things like that with that's like within the vibration of like um it's so deep because it's like we kind of like plan eight elders, you know what I'm saying? So therefore, we kind of transmuting that God that they got because they wasn't necessarily teaching the right starting points of the spirituality, you know what I'm saying, in the first place. But they was doing the practices, but they was using the practices for stupid shit. So it's like what everybody feel like they need in the world now, as far as like if they is like sheep minded or on a lower level of existence, they feel like they need that money. But if they are, you know what I'm saying, and this, and I ain't talking about you, Cody, obviously, and not you, bro. But if they are, you know what I'm saying, like understanding the time and shit like that, then this puts us in a position where, like, because they know spiritual principle to a certain extent too, and then we know spiritual principle, but we actually have more testimony in spiritual principle just based upon us living in these neighborhoods and not having those things, but producing talents, gifts, minds, um, ideas, um, that look more into the context of what we all need and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's where the value lies. You know what I'm saying? And so within that specific context, you know what I'm saying, they kind of looking to us to hope we care about the money, but that will be the way of them tricking us and rocking us to sleep. Because for the most part, if we all catching on the God, then we supposed to know that our God's so powerful that we gonna manifest the circumstances and situation that you know what I'm saying, keep us comfortable and keep us. We got million ideas, million ways. So we all open to all possibilities. So we got millions and billions of ways and things. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we know that through what we're performing, what we're participating on daily, what's keeping us up. Now, as far as like, so, and that's gonna turn into ideas, and that's gonna manifest. You know what I'm saying, to this shit. I'm saying once you get to that place so deep on the spirit, you can move things with your mind. You start seeing the illusion side of the world, and you become a yeah, man, because it's like traumatic. So one thing that um, they say that can program your subconscious is trauma and things of that nature. So if you, but that's the thing, a lot of this shit normal. Like that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. It's not like separate. Like it's not like separate. Like the mind is powerful. You know what I'm saying? But um, it's not like but you still need money to live in this illusion, survive and eat. Yeah, that's something we made. That's something we made possible. But we don't necessarily gotta like we can change it though. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you for sure need that shit. Like you for sure need that shit. But in a sense of like until we get done doing what we need with it type shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Um, but yeah, it's not separate. So a lot of these things is not separate. Like far as us creating, our space and reality, and then kind of waking up from the illusion. Because we created the illusion. Like we created this. Like that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. It's like deep. It's like deep. Like we created this. Like y'all, what y'all think this like a real thing that's gonna stay here forever? We created this with the money. So it's like we can create a lot of shit. Real good fast in a hurry. You know what I'm saying? But everybody mind gotta be on court. And sometimes, you know, God like to send God's children down here to start waking people up. You know what I'm saying? And stuff. So we can get out of that conflict with ourselves and shit like that about how we supposed to be think. So you know what I'm saying? So this is why you're responsible for how you think. That's why you're responsible for your, your thoughts. God ain't gonna give you no experiences if you ain't gonna be able to handle them. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be like egotistical, you know what I'm saying? Like God ain't gonna give you that. Why would God give you that? You know what I'm saying? It's God gotta be the one that give you this responsibility and thing, because you within this small vessel and shit like that. So we all create, we all creating this, we all creating this. So that's what I'm saying. It's just like like me doing this shit just it defies limitations. Like fuck a limitation. Fuck a limitation. I ain't listening to none of that ass no more. I'm not listening to no Mason. I'm not listening to no Jew. I'm not listening to no Jesuit. You know what I'm saying? Hell no. Especially not in a sense of, especially as far as when it comes to praying a God and try to take their God and live their God as a psychologist. You know what I'm saying? I listen to them when they talk some real stuff, but the real stuff is that, nigga, we ain't have y'all study. What is y'all studying? First of all, we got the stars. You know what I'm saying? We know stars is water. You know what I'm saying? We know they bodies of water. You know what I'm saying? We know how this shit flowing. We know how this shit floating. He said, like, Neo can never get a job or work normally because he took the red pill. When you wake up, it's hard to go back, almost impossible. Yeah, Neo got lost. Yeah, it's just you can't get lost on either side. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you're not the mind. You know what I'm saying? When you don't get lost on it, he shouldn't have took either pill. You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't have took either pill. He got lost on one side or the other and shit like that. The spirit come here to be like, nah, you ain't shit. You ain't shit, but you gotta be that, but not be that. But yeah, so yeah, this shit not separate, and I think that's what we was talking about. Oh yeah, so I was just saying I'm not listening to none of these motherfuckers, because really God ain't got the answers, Sway. God ain't got the answers. Like all I see is people talking about NASA and aliens. That concept ain't nothing finna come out of this water cycle. We in like a being, you know what I'm saying? And this motherfucker fused and fricked based upon its travels. So we crash into, you know what I'm saying, the atmosphere next to us is our atmosphere and shit like that. And then we create the sun and shit like that. We create an event. Like, y'all, that's what I'm saying. So there ain't no aliens coming out of space. It ain't like that. That's one thing. So I'm not listening to NASA. Y'all never went to the moon. The moon is a reflection. I'm not listening to NASA. The moon is a reflection based upon that event that's happening and that light that's creating based upon the crashing in between the water at 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that event, that fuse and frick and get all of our shit, get ready to go and create um, that, um, that heat between, what I'm saying, that friction and shit like that. Anytime you got two objects coming close, it's gonna create heat. You know what I'm saying? You can try this at home. So, with us creating that heat and shit like that, you know, and then just us rotating and having our own rotation. NASA, I'm not listening to y'all. So the moon is like that. Like moon is like it's a reflection. You feel me? So I'm not listening to y'all. So churches, I'm not listening to y'all. Jesus ain't work for Granny. Jesus ain't work for it. Ain't help her with her mind. You know what I'm saying? It ain't help her know herself. You know what I'm saying? That y'all tried. Y'all ain't do that the right way though. You know what I'm saying? Like we know that we know y'all practices ain't shit. We know y'all practices about the stars. So that we ain't listening to that no more. We not. We know y'all practices is all on the mind allegory. You know what I'm saying? We know when Moses put the staff in the water and why it split, because when you have a strong thought, you know what I'm saying, that or a strong sense of practicality or a strong thought, you know what I'm saying, that act as um um a way to split up, get you out your emotions and shit. You know what I'm saying? We know that. We know that. We know Biden until we ain't have to go to college. We ain't have to do that. We ain't have to even we ain't even have to suck dick to get into the Masonic Lodge and learn y'all knowledge. We had to wear yarmulkes. We had to we just use our mind like we did something different. We did something different. We just do everything with the easiness. You know what I'm saying? And I make it look real easy. Cause I'm an Aquarius, so I'm gonna make it look real easy. So so now we know we flying through space and shit like that. For real. We're flying through space within our mind, within our sphere. You know what I'm saying? And we know, you know what I'm saying, we use our mind first and then our body and shit like that. So we know that our spirit is in our space and we will things within our space. Real, yeah, mental pilot. So yeah, we know that. We know that. So yeah, we know we got the best music. We know we got the best world. We know we got the best reality. You know what I'm saying? We already did that. We did took control of reality. Because anytime I'm doing some goddamn telekinesis in my goddamn house, I'm like, whoa. All right. First of all, what would create my mind to bend on and create the goddamn situation of that? And for me to goddamn experience that. So what I came to the conclusion of is if I'm creating them types of forms and shit like that and experiencing that in the lower density, then either they own some bullshit, they about to get on some bullshit with, you know what I'm saying, they space X force and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They about to get on some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's what I came to conclusion. Like they about to get on some bullshit and things of that nature. So y'all better know y'all goddamn selves. You know what I'm saying? They about to get on some bullshit. You know? Some bullshit. Pluto and Aquarius. they about to get on some bullshit. All right. It's all a fight for a mind, all a fight for the mental, all a fight for your space and things of that nature. So even people like Joey Badass or whatever, you know what I'm saying? When um um it's all about a practice and shit like that. And so if you want to be successful within their fashions of government, their business, entertainment, religion, and politics and shit like that, you know it's certain things you gotta do. And you notice that those certain things you got to do, you probably lazy toward those things. Where another person that may be within those contexts you will probably look at them like, damn, they had to do this to get to this point where they at and shit like that. But you just being as a spirit, not just thinking that's something that you just lazy to do. You just looking at it like that, but you're not understanding that this is all set up and things of that nature based upon a specific virtue and principle that you'll ride out, you know what I'm saying, based upon, you know what I'm saying, if you're aware of that or not. But for the most part, you're familiar with that practice and things of that nature, because that's how we can kind of recollect on what we do in this lifetime that we may have did last lifetime, familiarity and things of that nature. So you know what I'm saying, so it's about having that experience of familiarity. And once you got that experience of familiarity, you know what I'm saying, that takes you back to that idea. Okay, well, you know what I'm saying, this is a baby, or this is something that this is like a baby that has a wise spirit or something, because that is a familiar, that baby or whatever is showing you actions of something you're familiar with, which is wisdom or being able to know. So that kind of lets you know like how you can track a child's spiritual age in a sense. You know what I'm saying? So um, you know, we all know how to do this. You know what I'm saying? We all know how to live life. We all know how to be familiar with things and shit like that. It's just based upon the damaging and them rocking us to sleep and doing so much witchcraft on us and shit like that. And on our minds that we be forgetting and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like we just got to wake up to the right context of this shit. You know what I'm saying? And use it for God, use it for the right purposes and shit like that, not for ego purposes. You know what I'm saying? Because you can get lost in the sauce real quick and things and think you know well and shit like that. And then that be your own light that you just see and shit like that. But for the most part, it's only good for you. But nobody else can tell you that you got some shit going on. And so you just in some la la land and too close to your own sun. So you know what I'm saying? Gotta always have some equilibrium as a spirit, because it's not about being necessarily lost in things. But for the most part, you want to have your gift and talent. You want to know what's your work here to do. And usually the easiest way you can track that is through your sun and your moon sign. So for me, as an Aquarius sun, you know what I'm saying, I'm here to associate. I'm here to make sense. I'm here to communicate, you know what I'm saying, and be fixated on my own way of thinking and communicating. You know what I'm saying? And associate how I associate with my context of reality and individuality and shit. And that's my power and shit like that. Now, the way I use that is gonna be up to me and shit like that. So it's either I'm gonna use it or not. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna use it or I'm gonna goddamn lose it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here too. I'm here to participate too. Bitch. So if I see something that's realistic and I got to communicate about it, I'm not finna negate my mind for no dumbass person or no dumbass, you know what I'm saying? No dumbass human that's just insecure about being a part of some bullshit that ain't helping none of y'all that y'all complain about anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna be a part of that shit. I'm here to do God's work, you know, and I'm getting better at that every day. So that's what we in, you know. Um, But yeah, so the more you know your astrology, your sun and moon, you can, tap into your talents and things, and also, just know what's going on today. So you can always have your space, And it may feel alone at times. You may feel alone in that space. You know what I'm saying? You may feel alone being far out. You may feel alone expressing yourself. But goddamn, you do it, you're gonna change the world. You're gonna do it for the right reasons. Be you for being you. That's the real reason you want to be you. That's the realest knowledge I can ever give you. Be you for being you. You know, you came here to participate with others and shit like that. And we all trying to get along. And we all came here on the desire. So we all fail. So the more you know what I'm saying, what can get you out of those desires that became flesh, that made you think you was a human, or made you think you couldn't do telekinesis like Sito, or made you think you know what I'm saying, you was flying around like pilot, or made you want to think you wasn't, you know what I'm saying, whatever made you think that, you know, that was your God. You know? So I just gotta talk my shit a little bit sometimes because like it'd be like funny. It'd be like funny, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like funny that we be in a world where where's the source? Where's your God? Tell him to come out here and talk to us. Tell him to pull up. You know what I'm saying? Tell him to pull up with his Ralph Lauren socks and his pink overall straps. You know what I'm saying? We'll sit down and talk tuxedo to man with Cito. It's just like bring out your best guy. We don't see him, then this is what we presented. This is the knowledge. As above, so below, as within, so without. We create, you know what I'm saying? We riding the waves. We creating the waves. We creating the flows. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to hear none about no y'all realm reality trash. Y'all realm of reality is ass. The moment I gotta do telekinesis within my realm of reality, right? But what do you? But I got the only way I can experience that in y'all realm of reality is watching it on TV, and then based upon if I do it within the aspect of watching it on TV, the way I do it, I'm supposed to, if, based upon how y'all show it, I'm supposed to feel like I'm the devil or I'm, you know what I'm saying, something going wrong. So y'all ain't really open to God for real. So y'all don't necessarily really like God energy for real. And not just saying that specific act is God energy or whatever, but shit, we gotta track something that can give somebody a sense of beyond this realm and shit like that. Y'all ain't doing that shit. Only time y'all do that shit is with movies, and then those movies be having certain virtues and principles that we gotta, once we see them movies, we gotta fucking uh feel like just if we it just everything is just within human landscape. So even like Spider-Man, like you know what I'm saying, he still got to deal with bullshit. It sounds, you know what I'm saying. Like, what about getting out the realm? You know what I'm saying. See, that's where that like y'all ain't think about that. What about getting out of that? Where everybody want to become a superhero within they magic square and shit like that, man. Fuck that. I'm like, fuck that. Get with some real spirits down here. We gonna really light this bitch up. And shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't necessarily about the telekinesis because everything is a practice. So everything had to be brought down here in a genuine way and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? in a very genuine way and things, because it's teamwork make the dream work. So whether my body was on some type of magnetic frequency where I could manipulate matter in some way, shape, or form, it was there for a reason. Do I have to do that shit all the time? No. I ain't the light, bitch. I ain't the light. I'll get lost in the light. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it was for. You know what I'm saying? It's for what it's for and things. So we supposed to use what we got using it for. So for the most part, what we should be thinking right now is about, our intentions, and our mind should be on, cardinal fire, creating and initiating new ways to think. New ways to see and feel and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So we all gotta gain information on new ways to see, gain information on new ways to feel, gain information on personal things, gain information on our personal reality. I felt like I shouldn't have been doing it, but now I think that was just my lower self trying to keep my mind. Exactly. So yeah, so that shit was crafted. That shit was crafted. You know what I'm saying? That way to think was crafted for us to think like we shouldn't be able to do that shit. Now, but it's like reverse psychology, because at the same time, it's like we shouldn't be trying to do anything. Like I did that shit very effortlessly. So it's like we should be just doing. But based upon how they set up the mind, because based upon them being jealous of spirits like us that came here, before, you know what I'm saying, which they deify and shit like that, call Zeus and shit like that. And, just drain the energy and shit like that, you know what I'm saying, putting it through, you know, that's a deeper topic. But yeah, so it just keeps your mind within a certain reality and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? But that act ain't the reality itself. You know what I'm saying? You doing it ain't the reality of it itself. The experience of it ain't it's a reality and shit like that. But it's just like everything else. You know what I'm saying? Everything else ain't reality and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just us spirits experiencing through time and shit like that. And that's how we gotta really look at it. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta really look at it like we, you know, is all within space, interacting with each other with closeness, distance, brightness, dimness, expansion, contraction. Um, then you got your elements of that and shit like that, which we all starting to broaden and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you already know when the spirit is in the space. Like we can all detect spiritual space and spiritual position. And the more you respect spiritual space and spiritual position, the better you can have a position and things of that nature. The better what the weight of something is. You know what I'm saying? How impactful. That's your own judgment. That's like your primitive judgments. You know what I'm saying? How heavy is this? How heavy am I being? You know what I'm saying? AKA, how much am I making what I'm making make sense in reality? So that would be like you using earth. You know what I'm saying? Air would be like you having being light, being able to communicate, being able to put ideas into shapes and forms and shit like that and things, and make sense and make correlations and shit like that, where someone can observe information for themselves, take a look as well. I was super weird out that telekinesis is real face, not fake. Oh yeah, real shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so yeah. So it's just like we in this space and shit like that, where they watching us. You know what I'm saying, behind the scenes, and then you know what I'm saying, all the time, giving us platforms and things, you know what I'm saying, today people, and it's just like, you know, it's like not going in the way they thought it was gonna go. Like it's just not looking good for them. You know what I'm saying? It's really not, you know. So I think we got to know that and be aware of that too. So, you know, we can know what the space is hidden for and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Broaden your awareness. You know, if you don't know what's promised for you, if you don't got no, you know, you know, if you ain't got none of them virtues and principles, where you going after, and you making the shit real to you, then bitch, you ain't really walking in the building like, man, okay, look, man, look, check this out. This how we handling shit. This how we doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody outside waiting for, you know, them to give y'all something and shit like that. Y'all not really tapping into them, you know, the mindsets of like we trying to take over some shit. And not even in no way. We're gonna do it on a speculative. We're gonna do it on a way where it's like, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna like your emotions what made your tear come down your face when you scared. Like your emotions what made I don't even remember that one. Like I don't even remember like what was my reaction to that one. It was probably like this. It was probably like this situation we in now. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like we always manifesting with the mind. So we manifest with the vibration and the emotion. You know what I'm saying? And so spirits can do that coming together. You know what I'm saying? We make what reality is real. If that was the case, it wouldn't be no Disney World. It wouldn't be no, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be no Mickey Mouse you can go through. It wouldn't be no holidays. It would be certain ways and stuff. So I think for the most part, that was just me, you know, being spiritual as well, you know, and then allowing that to manifest to something like today. You know what I'm saying? Because everything you got to have belief behind like what you do and shit like that. And he talking about a situation where like where when we was in his crib or whatever in Calumet City, you know, we had the motherfucking I had the we was doing telekinesis and shit like that, and I moved some shit on the table then or whatever, and you know, a tear had came down my face and shit like that. Now, you know, whether I bumped the table and it moved and shit like that, you know what I'm saying, or I actually did that shit, you know what I'm saying. For the most part, it was. He said, "No, when I see you do it in that moment, you move, stick out there, you look shot like you seen it goes in the moment." Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I think that's what I'm saying. It's like we creating everything, bro. So it's like even it like I was just acting that out and shit like that. So the power of fire and power of action, you know what I'm saying? That was my expression. That was what I wanted to see. That's what I saw in the future. You know what I'm saying? That's what I saw. That's how I saw it going. So and it's in the same context as this. Like I see it going this way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so I saw my life. You know what I'm saying? That's where you see your life. You see your life. Shit. Right? You see your life. You know what I'm saying? Seeing is powerful. That will is powerful. You know what I'm saying? That sunshine is powerful. So, you know, whatever. Then it just manifested to a situation where I actually did that shit in the future. And shit. You know? But yeah, the vision is powerful. You know, the vision is powerful. Your ability to act out, your ability to be, your ability to express, your ability to place that inner flame into reality is powerful. Yo, yeah, bro. Real shit. We've been doing magic for a long time. We've been doing magic for a long time. Um, so everybody, you know, you're responsible for how you think. Um, God damn it. Get into some goddamn astrology. Know what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? It's a Wednesday. That would be Mercury Day. So, you know, you got to get your motherfucking communication straight. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be responsible for how you think and shit like that, you know. And when you first to come out and shit like that, guess what? You might be the only one there. You know what I'm saying? But hey, be responsible. You know what I'm saying? Be responsible. You know, and shit like that. We have communications and we just be talking shit so much in the spirit realm and shit like that, where more shit gonna start manifesting like that because we in the spiritual space. We in the spiritual space communicating. We in the spiritual space relating. You know what I'm saying? We're not relating within the context of, you know what I'm saying, the things that be on our mind when we within those spaces. You know what I'm saying? We're in our space. It's not like that. So that's what we created. The more we aware of our space, the more that we know how to do alchemy, and the more that we know how to manipulate, the more that we know how to, you know what I'm saying, we can make whatever out of this mind to the point where they might need us to understand what life is instead of getting concurred within their system that they created, you know what I'm saying, to understand life. We gonna put them in a position where our shit, our lives gonna be so hard that it's gonna be to the point where it's like, damn, how are y'all doing that? And so like that's what I'm saying. Like, so we're defying reality in a new way and shit like that. And these are the early stages of it. And so, you know, the better you are aware of that, and the better you're aware of, you know, your space and your position, you can look like you have a spot in this reality. You know what I'm saying? You can look like you can have a new uh, connection in this reality. You know, you look like you can have a space, you know, or a vessel. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how y'all all get, and y'all all be living up under one spirit. That's one thing. Like it'd be like a whole bunch of y'all and shit like that, but y'all all be living under like one being and shit like that because it's we all beings within beings, but it's beings within beings within beings. So based upon y'all virtues and principles and like what y'all serve and shit like that, um, you may create like a mind in that being and shit like that, and that's all like the people in Hollywood. They like all live like in one being and shit like that, and that being have certain virtues and principles and shit like that. So the moment you're not playing the virtues and principles out within that being, then you not gonna have the fruits of that being. So get in Hollywood and don't practice them that whatever that being like and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, for the most part, you know, but we all are within, you know, our own spaces and shit, and then within a being, you know. So the more we aware of what we in and shit like that, you know, we can get more, and that we do that through connection. You know what I'm saying? All interacting. You know what I'm saying? All being aware of each other and things of that nature, and all doing compared signals and contrasts and shit like that, you know, and all making the right network connections, all interfacing and all coming to our own conclusion about reality. And ain't nothing wrong with that, right? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that, nigga. I'm a person that can see. You a person that can see. We got ears, ass, eyes, teeth, mouth, and shit like that. We got logic. We got intellect. We got all that thing. We got all these good senses and things. You know what I'm saying? We all healthy in some way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? We doing it things and shit like that. You remember when you meditate, had that vision, you stay for it. Yeah, real shit. Everything take time. Everything take time. Everything take time. So that's why a lot of them can't stop us, because a lot of these shits we didn't had on our mind before we didn't have came here. So you know what I'm saying? Like, so I've been had this on my mind before I even came here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so you know, that's really it, man. So yeah, motherfuckers. Uh, motherfuckers, we on our way. You know what I'm saying? We on our way. We gonna do what God do and shit like that. Real shit. The moment y'all got my spirit up here. in this body, bringing some telekinesis shit down here. I'm like, hold the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hold the fuck on. Because I was a little minute, I was about to be like, well, hold on. I ain't going to give y'all no narratives and nothing like that. I ain't going to give y'all no narratives and shit like that. Because y'all know y'all be watching. But y'all got me, you know what I'm saying, manifesting that shit like that. Y'all got to tread lightly and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Before we start putting that shit up on, because it's like y'all fucking with the energy. Because we gonna start putting that shit up on YouTube and shit like that. And so we gonna invert y'all movies and shit like that to the point where we gonna start looking like the movie stars or like characters within y'all that realm that's like superheroes, but we gonna be real people. And so that's gonna, once we do that, like that's gonna get people like, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna transmute that energy to the point where y'all magic gonna look weak. You know what I'm saying? Y'all magic and y'all masonry that y'all did on people gonna look weak because we gonna be doing that shit for real and shit like that. So keep playing. Y'all need to go ahead, you know what I'm saying? Like cut that shit out. You know what I'm saying? Everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, and stop blocking people numbers and shit like that that's on YouTube that's really occultist, like, and really with this shit, like y'all need to like really stop. And then like y'all give like it's just the fuck is the system is just what is just horrible. You know what I'm saying? It's just horrible. Like look, I talk with Uriel. We'll talk it out. We'll talk. We is, you know what I'm saying. We'll discuss some ideas on what works. You feel me? Like real shit. Because I don't think bro playing with y'all either. But yeah, so like we gonna transmute that energy, like you know what I'm saying. So we gonna start looking. That's the thing because our mind not in y'all realm of reality. So it's like we going to be able to do the things that's unlimited, right? And so while y'all gonna be hiding somewhere in the shadows and things of that nature, it's gonna be real people out here getting with that energy and being able to start manifesting things that look like there are new and shit like that. Like that is defying reality and shit like telekinesis. We gonna start manifesting that shit with our mind and shit like that. And then once y'all ain't gonna be able to participate with that and shit like that because y'all was hiding in the shadows trying to conduct to see to use y'all puppets to get people like us to shut up or something like that, but it's just gonna be in God's favor. So, and then at that point, what the fuck is a movie? You know what I'm saying? When a person is life look like something like that, what the fuck is good use is that? When Zeus came down here for real, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck is the good of that? Fucking Mickey Mouse or what the fuck is that? Fuck Disney. We don't want to see y'all special effects and things of that nature about what we can actually do and shit like that. We know we can do that. We didn't been did that. We was trying to do some whole other shit. You know what I'm saying? Special effects. Y'all gotta go get some trained white boy that grew up ain't never had to go through nothing and shit like that. And shit, all he got to go through is like his mama yelling at him and shit like that, telling him stop watching porn and shit like that. You know, and then but he grew up and shit like that. So he had y'all virtues and principles, so he went to college and shit like that. And then he was able to get a lot of money because he became an actor. That shit out of here. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't it no more. Real shit. That shit ain't it. So, but yeah, that that's the times. It's the times we're in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, no, we not living like that. You know what I'm saying? We be trying to get our shit together and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all system don't necessarily mean anything to us and shit like that. So, um, because y'all use what we into to know to use the system. Y'all know about as above, so below. Y'all know about, you know, the sun through Neptune and Pluto and shit. Y'all know about that shit. Y'all know what's cracking with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Do you think melanated people more powerful in magic than pale people? Um, I'm unbiased when it comes to that. Um, I think for the most part, it's all about minds. It's all about spirits that got good minds that create good mentalities. Because the spirit ain't really got nothing, no gender, no, you know. But you could create a hard ass thought, and we all in feeling, and then vibration, and we all do this by default. You know what I'm saying? And that might end up leading us into certain areas and things. So it depends on how you look at it. Is your um is your you know what I'm saying? Depends on what range you look at it. Because they might have certain attributes that you may lack, you know what I'm saying? You know, and that they may be experiencing, and that's their magic, you know what I'm saying? So that may be the virtues and principles and the shit that they spirited willed into existence for them to pay attention to. You know what I'm saying? And some of them shits we like, you know what I'm saying? We like a nice little setting, you know what I'm saying? We like, you know what I'm saying, nice community, organized and left brain and being particular and things looking nice. And, we like that side of things, you know what I'm saying? We like the side of, um, you know, sense of purity and order and shit like that. A lot of the shit that they kind of rock to sleep into, but also got. Then if you look at, the minds that we create, you know what I'm saying? More denser and shit like that. Even it manifests into the third dimension as skin, you know what I'm saying? More vibration, more with the rhythm, more with the, creativity, more with the internal. So I don't really think it ain't, you know, I think both are powerful. I think when you get past that and you start resonating with that beyond color and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Then that's when you're on the right scale of things. You know. So I don't really think, but melanin, we all trying to create melanin, and that's our fruits and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it, I fuck with everybody. I fuck with this God's world. You know what I'm saying? All spirits and bodies help create this shit. You know what I'm saying? Animals, all type of shit. Yeah, but uh, yeah, because motherfuckers had a nerve to call my phone and shit like that, and it's like, man, stop calling my phone. Man, stop calling my phone. Man, stop calling my phone. Phone, 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 phone. All right, man. I gotta get my kids. I told them I was gonna let them chill out back there, but it seemed like they've been teed a little bit too. So excuse me if y'all been hearing them yell in the back and things. But yeah, this is just us coming through with the energies and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So the moon is in motherfucking Cancer. So right now, you know what I'm saying? We all react and respond to our home, family, domestic issues, ability to care and nurture, and what the sun is in, and Aries. So it looks like we're kind of nurturing our visions, our passion, our ability to see something from a new starting point, a new step, or it can be like a new spark, which can be a new inspiration. You know what I'm saying? That can kind of get you out of, character in a sense to create a new character, which is a new vision and things of that nature. And that would be, your personal flame, and that will carry you through, the night times or the darkness that you need to be lit up in your life so you can have some motherfucking direction in your goddamn life and shit like that. So yeah, goddamn Necesito, the spirit coach. Get your ass again.